Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of Kill James Bond. I'm November Kelly, joined as always by my friends Abigail Thorne and Devon.
Hello.
What's up?
And we have a guest. It's AJ from the Worst of All Possible Worlds. How's it going?
Oh, it's going so good. I just watched the craziest movie I have ever seen in my life, and I'm so thrilled to talk about it. I worked for the last 5 days on a Pacino impression, and it did not help, so I'm very excited to unleash that today.
AJ is here of his own free will.
I am.
A man with the power of a king on the podcast. King for the day.
The wickedest of all possible men.
Ooh. So this is going to end with me on fire. I guarantee it.
We got you on to help us watch some real like mid-career Pacino, an interesting sort of transitional stage in Al Pacino.
Yeah.
This is your bonus pick, Abby. It's The Devil's Advocate.
This is genuinely one of my favorite movies.
Oh, shit.
I really like this film. I always enjoy watching it. It's the movie that was nearly responsible for me becoming a lawyer, which I nearly did. And it's also the movie that is, in fact, responsible for me owning a pair of red Crocskin (brackets fake) cowboy boots, which I do.
But don't the lawyer
They
thing.
are so sick.
No, don't do that.
This is Abby Law. I very nearly became a lawyer.
it's not Abby
The
Law.
only reason I didn't is because... yes, exactly. Abby Crime. In fact. The only reason I didn't is because law school, for what I wanted to do, was exactly as competitive numerically as drama school, and I slightly preferred acting. So I was like, I'm going to do that instead. But yeah, I nearly became a lawyer because of this film, and I'm guessing being a real life lawyer is not at all like what this film depicts it
Not as far as I know. No.
Less Pacino, certainly. Yeah.
I do want to say to my co-hosts up front, let's not spoil it, because one of the things I love about this film is that it tells you kind of what Al Pacino's deal is, but it doesn't confirm it or like deny it until very close to the end. And that is one of the things I love about it. So let's just keep the mystery alive.
So we begin in a Florida courtroom with a trial for sex crimes.
Yes. Good evening, pedophiles.
And
Where are my pedophiles at?
Sound off in the comments.
I don't want to get a Tumblr ask in a couple of weeks' time that's like, I was working and listening to the podcast and you said, where my pedophiles at? And I just dropped everything, you know? Like, I'm blocking the person who sends me that. So to be very clear about this, Keanu Reeves is in this scene and they establish as quickly as they humanly can that Keanu is the lawyer for the guy who's accused of the sex crimes, not the sex crimes guy. It's like he's sitting next to the sweatiest, baldest pedophile alive.
Yes. Frank Sabatka from The Wire season 2.
Oh my god, is it actually?
Yeah,
I didn't even recognize him. Jesus.
This is 1997 Keanu Reeves. This is 2 years before The Matrix, if you can believe it. He's so baby-faced in this.
I will say
He's so good at it.
he's really good in this movie. I will say, and this is somewhat of a mean observation, but it is nice to see him act, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there was that whole thing going around, especially during this time in Keanu's career, where everyone's like, he's like a really bad actor. He's wooden, he's stiff or whatever. And then you watch this and you're like, no, he is incredible.
Like, no, he gets way worse. Yeah, he's actually amazing here.
Yeah.
I don't know who directed this, but genuinely everyone gives like really good performances in this movie. It's one of the reasons I like it, just as an actor, like recognized game.
I forgot the name of the director as well, but I will say that one of the guys who wrote it, the co-writer, is Tony Gilroy, who did all the Bourne films. So
and Andor.
Yeah. So the writing in this,
Mr. Geddes is the maths teacher.
Yes.
Is being accused very seriously and tearfully by this young girl of being a pedophile. Keanu Reeves is a lawyer.
She's on the stand.
And as this girl is testifying, as she's testifying, Keanu looks over and realizes that this guy is like fucking getting off on the testimony.
Oh, he's horny as shit right now. He's just like cupping the table.
Apparently, by no means uncommon with sex offenders. It's fucking gross. Yeah,
Really?
like there's an element of it's one of the reasons why like kind of a lot of like reparative justice stuff just doesn't really work, is because it's an opportunity for them to just like relive the thing and get off on it. So but so he's like
he realizes his client is guilty.
And this is the central question that the thing asks is like, what the fuck do you do here as a lawyer when you
Yeah.
realize that like the guy is guilty of the crime you're trying to get him off for?
Yeah.
This is great screenwriting too. Like, what do you do to introduce your character? Show them making a decision.
Well, and so like obviously there's a kind of a professional like ethical answer to that, which is that you know not defending them necessarily from like it's the court's job to determine guilt and innocence, and they're entitled to like the best representation that they can get constitutionally, all the rest of it. What he does is he like takes a recess, takes his client aside, and gives him the "you're cooked" lawyer speech from Rules of Engagement. Except instead of like, I am such a bad lawyer, I don't know what I'm doing. It's
help me.
It's like you nasty motherfucker, you did it. I know you did it. I can't represent you. You gotta like get a new lawyer or fucking plead guilty, I guess.
But he doesn't. He doesn't say I can't represent you. Instead, he goes into the bathroom. He stares himself in the mirror and he goes, all right, I gotta destroy this fucking kid.
Yeah. Yep. Well, he's about to. But
we get the stakes because a journalist enters and says, not subtly, "Damn, you've won every case you've ever tried. I guess maybe this is the one you have to lose because you're defending a pedophile." And he goes,
nobody wins them all.
No, I can still win this one.
Yeah. On the way out, this journalist gives him the like kind of
wink.
Yeah, and And Keanu like does some echopraxia, but too much, and like screws up half his entire face.
This is also the bathroom that is in every single Hollywood courtroom drama. There is just like there's the marble on the walls. I think it's the exact one from Liar Liar. I can't be sure, but it definitely is the one from My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah. So
the big mirror where you get to look at yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and so prior to any kind of laws that might like prevent you from doing this, he goes in on the child witness / victim of like sexual abuse.
Number 1, you're failing school. Number 2,
you suck.
Number 3,
he shouts in her face.
He is like obliterating this kid, like
makes her cry.
I mean, this is the kind of theme of a lot of like cross-examination in like defense of sexual offense cases is to be like, oh, the victim is A, a slut, and B, a liar, right? And so therefore you can't trust anything she says. And he's
like, you don't have a gender recognition certificate. I am going to use he, him pronouns for you throughout the trial.
But pretty good cartoonist, I'll say. She does draw a pretty good, a huge hog beast, I think is what she refers to him as.
Yeah. He proves that she like had it out for the maths teacher.
Yeah.
He concocts this like alternative narrative where she's like, where he's like, you hated him because he was giving you bad grades. He kept you after class, but there was nothing sinister in that. And then to sound like cool and to get back at him, you made up this story. And she still insists that it happened, but you can hear that the jury don't buy it. And like one of the families, like sort of like tries to like attack him afterwards.
Yeah.
This
makes her
child
cry.
actor, by the way, is I think it's Heather Matarazzo. Does a great job with this, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
amazing work.
Incredible.
Amazing work.
Really, really good.
Well done.
Pretty active actually in the late 90s. She was very active this year, I'm seeing.
Oh hell yeah! Shout out to you, Heather.
I do like the idea of a criminal defense attorney having to grapple with the idea that their client might be guilty on the sort of like 60th case or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is my 64th straight win, and I've just realized that I'm defending a pedophile.
Some of these guys might not be good people. What the fuck? It's like
I got into this game to get people out of going to jail. I didn't realize I'd be getting people who needed to go to jail out of it.
Like not to kind of spoil this, but this does come up in law school. It is something that you have to kind of deal with mentally kind of early. But
also, like it is extremely remarkable and unlikely that he would never have lost a case. In fact, it kind of works in universe if like it's absolutely fantastically unlikely that he would ever have been in this situation. But anyway, his wife Charlize Theron celebrates with him afterwards.
Charlize Theron,
Jesus
welcome
Christ.
to the movie.
Fucking amazing performance. Like she's so good in this movie. Like a role that is maybe
This
a
role
little kind of dated now, but
I'll say so.
in the
Yes,
writing at
I'll
least.
say.
But she's the kind of definition of being better than the writing in this.
stop right there. If you want to hear the rest of this episode, you're gonna have to go on over to patreon.com/killjamesbond, all one word, and cross my fucking palm with silver.